Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Um, so this one's gonna be a little bit difficult to talk about. Um, because honestly, it's something has stuck with me since it was told to me, well, said to me, I should say. And I wasn't in a good state of mind. I was in the midst of trying to deal with everything and sorting through everything. And it was said to me a few years ago, and honestly, it's always been in the back of my mind and has made me question my decisions and my life choices and second guess myself. So, a close family member of mine, like I said, guys, in my videos, I was a difficult person to be around after everything happened. Um, I was angry and not aggressive, but quick tempered. Like, I would get annoyed very quickly. And, you know, I put the pressure on myself to try to move past it. Like, I was watching something the other day, and it's a show that I used to watch a long time ago. Actually, a soap. It's called General Hospital, and there was a scene many years ago on this show, and there was a character who was assaulted, and he said that you push it down and you don't think about it, and you push it down so far that you know you begin to believe it didn't happen to you, and so you don't speak of it. Sorry for the creepy doll again, guys. Ooh. Anyways, there we go. And that's what I was doing. I was trying to push it down, not deal with it, move on with my life. But it seemed like every decision I made was a crappy one. And, I was a very, like I said, angry person, and I just didn't know how to deal with all these feelings. I was trying to better myself without dealing with everything. And this family member sat me down one evening. There was actually a few family members there. And one of my family members pointed out that I was sad, that they saw me sitting in the backyard playing with our dog, and she could just tell that I was not happy, that I was carrying a heavy burden. And I got upset, quite frankly, and I'm just dealing with a lot. I need to process it. I'll figure it out. And this other family member sat across from me, kind of. They're like on an angle, and they said, with the actions and who you are is killing your mother, and I'm not going to watch or stand for you putting her in her grave. And that stuck with me, and it struck a chord, and I got really defensive and really upset and really, angry. And this other family member said, you're scaring your grandmother, and this is going to stick with her, for a very long time. You're scaring her and all that stuff. And I remember I had lent my room to my grandmother at the time, and I was sleeping in the basement. And I remember going down to the basement and just sobbing. Because my worst fears were coming a reality. For so many years, the school said I was a disappointment, that I was a troubled child, that they were saying all these mean, nasty things to me. And, I tried to push it down, move past it, figure out my life. And just to be slapped in the face by this family member saying that I was killing my mother with who I was and with my actions. And I think talking about this gets me upset, so let's just keep it together. I think that night something broke inside of me. Something really, really snapped and broke inside of me that night. And yeah, I turned to cutting that night. I'm not proud of it, guys. It was just a way of channeling my pain and to punish myself. In essence, it was a way of always punishing myself. I'm not proud of it. There was only a handful of times that I did it, and thankfully I haven't done it in 3 years. But every time I turned to cutting was a way of basically punishing myself. And I remember just sobbing that night. In the dark, alone. Sobbing. And I remember it was a few hours later. I was still crying in the dark on the floor, alone. And my mother yelled down, "Oh, we love you." And that was it. It wasn't really discussed until a few months later, and I'll get to that. From that moment on, that stuck with me. It has, like I said, it has made me second guess everything in my life, everything that I do. And I know that's not fair to put on an individual or to put on myself, because, things were said in the heat of the moment. And no, I'm not defending that family member. I'm just simply saying I know sometimes people don't think before they speak. And that night, I made a decision to, close myself off. So I stopped going out with friends. I stopped going out at night. I stopped leaving the house. The only time I left the house was either to go to work or to school. That was it. I had no life. I came home. I did everything my parents asked of me. I took on so much stuff just to make my family happy. And I remember a few months down the road, my mom brought it to my attention. She wanted to make sure I was okay. And this family member was in the room at the time, and they said, "Well, you have no social life, you're not going out. Is everything okay? You need to get out. You need to do stuff." And I said, "Yeah, everything's fine. Like, whatever. I'm just busy with school and work." That was my excuse. And they're like, "No, it's more we can see." And they just kept on probing, and I snapped. Again, I was internalizing a lot of stuff, and I said, I'm just doing the best I can, because, and I looked at this family member, and I said, because you said I was killing my mom with my actions and blah, blah, blah. I'm just trying to do the best I can. And then this family member went off at me. I said, yeah, you were making really bad decisions and stuff, and blah, 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 and you were doing all these things, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, and I'm just trying to do the best I can. I snapped back. And I said, yeah, so I did give up going out, I wanted to stay home and do everything that, I can to help and stuff, and I only go out for school and work, and just to come back and show that, I am bettering my life and stuff. And then this family member snapped at me and said, don't put this all on us, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like they weren't listening. This family member and my mom, not so much my mom, like she was there, she was kind of like whatever, but this family member was just, this family member likes to say, like, whenever I'm upset or when I'm dealing with something and I'm talking to a friend, their go-to is, oh, you're talking about us, you're making us look like the bad guys, you're making us look like the bad parents. And that's never the case. I mean, yeah, certain times I'd be like, oh my god, they're such a dick, right? But, that always sticks with me too. It's like, oh my god, like, if I'm talking to a friend, they think I'm talking trash about them, which I'm not. I could be talking about the fucking weather, It's just that, I guess this has a play on my anxiety too. And that has always stuck in the back of my mind. Like, I have to be cautious of my actions. I have to be cautious of my decisions. I have to be cautious of this. And yeah, I should be moved on from that. Like, I mean, that was a heavy thing to say. Granted, they had no idea what I was dealing with. They knew I was dealing with something, but they didn't know I was dealing with a whole lot of shit. But yeah, it stays with me. It has always stayed with me that, I have to second guess my decisions, because I never want to be in that position where I'm killing my mother. And I know that sounds very childish and like, oh, come on, grow up. Like, what the fuck? And I get that. I know how petty it sounds. That I'm still, to this day, it's been like, 10 years, questioning my life decisions based on that comment. But that's a deep comment to say. And yeah, that does stick with me. And it frustrates me. Like, honestly, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. This still frustrates me, and this is why I wanted to kind of do a video, just to, like, process my stuff. That, like, I don't know why it has stuck with me. And it has hit this nerve with me through all these years. And every time I make a fuck up, yeah, okay, make a fuck up, yep, make a mistake, and again, we're humans, we make mistakes, we fuck up occasionally, like, it is what it is. Like, I go into a full-blown panic attack. And, like, honestly, it could be a mistake about a little thing, but I go into a full-blown panic attack, like, oh my god, like, I freak out, like, internally, like, is this gonna kill my mother? Like, oh my god, I know it was so little, but oh my god, like, this family member is gonna freak out, and blah, 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 and it's just, like, I full-blown panic attack, and then I hit a depressive state. And again, I know how petty it sounds, but, it's not, I wish that I could, like, not block it out, but, like, I guess get over it. But I don't think you can get over something like that was said to you. You know, it's just, uh, you don't want to let down your family and stuff. And I look at, my brother, and yes, he goes through struggles and stuff, but now, he's married, he has a business, he has a place, and me, I have struggled, and I'm sure he has struggled. um Everybody struggles. But again, this is going to sound petty. I have not had an easy life. And I know, again, that sounds very petty. Um, I just, you know, I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 7. And, you know, again, that was something that was thrown in my face that sticks with me, that I feel extremely guilty about to this day. That, when they found out about this diagnosis and stuff, my mom gave up her job to stay home with me and help me out and do all this stuff. And that was thrown in my face too, that my mom gave up her career for me to help me. And again, it was said in the heat of the moment and stuff, but I feel guilty for that. And I don't know why I feel guilty for that. I don't think I'll have, an answer about that. I tend to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. And, I was 7 or 8 when she gave up her job to stay home with me and help me so I wouldn't, struggle in school. And I'm very thankful for that. I will always be thankful for that. But to kind of like blame me for that is not fair. It's not fair. And I've come over all of these humps and bumps. I was bullied since basically, since I was in grade 3, maybe 2. Yeah, grade 2. So I was like 8 till I was, 20-ish. That's a long type of, stuff. A long time. And, I was abused for 4 years, 5. And, you try to, you feel like your life is falling apart. And then, you put your life together. You're trying, you're going to school, you're getting a job. Like, you're just trying all these things, And I'm really grateful for all the, chances that my family has given me, and has allowed me to experience stuff. I was very thankful for when I made a career choice that wasn't the best, and I suffered for 3 years. They allowed me to move back home, get on my feet, and I have. The pandemic is not pandemic. There we go, speak. It kind of stuck a curve in there. Lost my job because of it, so I'm looking for a job, and it's not easy. And I know a lot of some family members are like, well, snap your fingers and you'll have a job. Fuck, I wish it was that easy. And I'm going back to school and still in the meantime looking for a job. And, I want to open up this business. Again, I'm not going to magically snap my fingers and it's going to appear in my lap. I know that. I have to work for this. There's certain things in life that I have to do to proceed that. And again, I'm not going to magically snap my fingers and it's all going to be okay. And, there's times where I'm like, I'll sit in the dark, in the middle of the night. I can't sleep. I'm just sitting there and I'm just thinking of like, all these actions gonna kill my mother. Am I making this, like, am I making right choices, and again, that's not to put blame on this family member for saying this. And I'm not being a whiny little bitch about this. I'm just saying that this is my logical thinking because, it happens, It's not logical. I know that. And, there is some job opportunities or life paths that have not happened because of this. And this is my overthinking and, questioning everything. And it's just this constant pressure of myself to do better, to be a better daughter, to be a better sister, a cousin, a niece, just granddaughter, just trying to be this better person. Well, all these thoughts are still in my head, and I'm trying to process this and be a good, human being. And well, sometimes I'm just screaming in the inside and want to crawl underneath the covers and hide away, but unfortunately, I can't. And I have all this responsibility for the family, and again, some family members think, I sit on my ass and do nothing all day. When that's not the case. I am going to school, I'm looking for a job, I'm helping around my family members and stuff, and picking up the slack in certain places. And I'm sure there's family members and people out there, they're like, oh, well, you should be doing more. And I wish I could, but to have all these thoughts in my head and trying to process them and getting annoyed and frustrated, be like, it's been years, move the fuck on from this comment, but I just can't. And it's very frustrating. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to kind of get that out of my head. Because, like I said, something broke in me that night that I can't put my finger on. I can't, figure it out. But to this day, it's stuck with me. And it's frustrating and annoying and confusing. But I'm learning. And it's going to be a long learning curve that, I have to do what's best for me. And that, again, is not always the easiest thing to put forward, It's easier said than done. And yes, I don't always do that. In certain instances, yes, I do that. I do what's best for me. And then other instances, I don't. I take the safe road. I take the road that I might not know that I might not be a fucked up daughter, or a fucked up sister or a granddaughter or niece or cousin. I take the safe road. And that's not always fair to me. I get that. And I'm working to curve that into, doing what's best for me. And by doing that, it's I'm going back to school and I have this plan of opening up my business. And again, I can't magically snap my fingers and have it appear in my lap. I know that. I did not go in with this on blinders, and say, oh, once I get this degree, bam, there's your business. No. I know this is going to take a lot of years and a lot of work, and, I am going to have to do another job in the meantime. I know that. I'm not, I don't have tunnel vision. It's just, having this whisper in the back of my head that it's just annoying at sometimes. But yes, I know my videos are long, and I apologize. And this one was mostly oh god, Jessica, just fucking end this video soon. It was mostly me rambling. There we go. But yeah, I guess this is kind of a topic, and to let people know that yes, there's things in life that stick with you, not always for the good. It's just kind of trying to figure out a roadmap through that, you know? And it isn't easy. I'm still learning. And I'm sure, you know, I'm gonna have breakdowns and freakouts and panic attacks, and it's not gonna be fun, but, you know, one day at a time and one step at a time, and kind of figure it out from there. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop rambling, and I am going to let you go. So, remember, guys, never give up. Always keep fighting. You're enough, and you're very loved. Until the next video, guys, I love you.